Hello, friends. I'm Jim McGuire, coordinator for Crossfire, which is a branch of the First United Methodist Church. Pastor David asked us this week to read different chapters, a different chapter in the book of Mark each day, and tonight I'm going to finish up with Mark 16, which is the final chapter in the book of Mark. Now, this chapter starts after the crucifixion and burial of Jesus in the tomb, and I kind of themed this chapter, Jesus Appears. In verses 1 through 8, we have Mary Magdalene, we have Mary, the mother of Jesus, and we have Salome taking spices to the tomb to anoint Jesus. And on their way there, they're discussing how they're going to roll the stone away. But when they get there, the stone has already been rolled away from the tomb. So they enter the tomb, and there is a young man dressed in white, wearing a white robe, and they see that Jesus is there, so they're a little alarmed on what's going on. And Jesus said, or the man, the white young man in the white robe said to them, he said, "You seek Jesus of Nazareth. He has already risen. Go back and tell the other disciples and Peter, uh, and that he will meet them in Galilee." Well, the three ladies, they all run out of the tomb. They're trembling, they're afraid, they're scared, and they don't say nothing to anybody. And now we're going to pick up in verse 9 now, where when Jesus arose early on the first day of the week, he appeared to Mary Magdalene. And she went back and told the disciples that she had been with Jesus and had seen him, but yet they did not believe. We go to verses 12 and 13. Jesus appeared to two of his disciples in another form as they were walking into the country. Now, in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 24, this is a road to Emmaus, and the two men were upset talking about what had just happened to Jesus. And that was when Jesus appeared to them in that other form, and he said, Why are you upset?" And they pretty much said, "Well, man, where have you been? You don't know what's happened?" And Jesus rebuked them. And later on, they went in to break bread together in a building, and Jesus opened their eyes to who he was. Now, the disciples, they went back, these two disciples, they went back and told the other disciples about this, but yet they did not believe. In verse 14, Jesus appears to the 11 disciples as they sit at the table, and he rebukes them for not believing, for their unbelief and their hardness of their hearts, because they did not believe those who had seen him after he had risen. Verses 15 to 18, Jesus said to them, I'm going to read this from the Bible: "Go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned. And these signs will follow those who believe in my name. And they will cast out demons, they will speak with new tongues, and will take up serpents. And if they drink anything deadly, it will by no means hurt them. They will lay hands on the sick, and they will recover." In verses 19 through 20, Jesus ascends into heaven to sit at the right hand of God, and the disciples went out and preached everywhere. Okay, well, this concludes uh, Mark 16. I'm also doing a short summary of Romans 12, verses 3 through 16. In Romans 12, verses 3 through 8, it basically says there is only one body of Christ, but there's a range of uh, spiritual gifts within that body, an assortment that ensures the health of the unified whole body. If God, by His grace, gives everyone a unique task in the church, then there is no reason for people to think more highly or lowly of themselves than they ought to. In Romans 12, verses 9 through 16, one another is mentioned 3 times in that section that concerns reciprocal relationships in the body of Christ. Love is the ultimate key to relationships. To this point in Romans, Paul has described God's love for his people. Now he will describe the Christians' love for one another. And that is basically what that whole section talks about there. I want to thank you for being with me this evening, and as David always says, keep looking up. Thank you.